Hi, it's Scott Allen, and in part 3 of my Lions series today, I'm going to look at the back row and the halves pairing. At number 6, I think Warren Gatland will start with Tom Croft. He's got the experience, and I think he'll be the number 1 line-out jumper for the Lions. He played in all 3 tests on the 2009 Lions tour and was a solid performer. His form for England over the last couple of years hasn't been spectacular, but recently he's come back into form. He'll be a real threat to the Wallabies at line-out time. He's 6'6" tall, and he's a good jumper. He's also very good in defence, so he'll put plenty of pressure on the Wallabies. The other area is a big threat. He's very good in attack. He's got a lot of pace for a big man. As you can see in a couple of these clips, when he roams out wide, which is where I think a number 6 should attack, he's got the pace and the step to get around some of the outside backs. No doubt Dan Lydiat from Wales and Sean O'Brien from Ireland will come into calculations for this position, but I think Croft will win it based purely on his experience and recent form. His combinations with some of the other Lions forwards from 2009 will also be critical. At number 7, I'm sure Warren Gatland will go with Sam Warburton from Wales, who'll be captain. I don't think Gatland would have picked him as captain unless he considered him a certain starter for at least the first test. He's a classic open-side flanker, plays very well at the breakdown with good technique, but he also attacks very well, even though we didn't see a lot of it over the last 18 months when Wales have played Australia a number of times. His form in 2013 wasn't spectacular, but having rewatched the matches, it also wasn't as bad as has been made out. At 6'2", he'll be the shortest member of the Lions back row, but he's very good at the line-out. Wales use him there as a front-line jumping option. Supporting him off the bench will be Justin Tipuric from Wales, who's another specialist open-side flanker. He played most of the 2013 season for Wales when Warburton was either injured or not preferred for selection. I think Gatland will want to have both he and Warburton in the squad to counter Gill and Hooper. The choice for number 8 will come down to a decision between Toby Faletau from Wales and Jamie Heaslip from Ireland, but I think it's Heaslip's experience that'll get him the nod. He started at number 8 for the Lions in all 3 tests they played in South Africa in 2009. At 6'4" and 110 kilos, he's a lot bigger than he may appear on the screen. He plays tighter than Faletau, and he's very good in contact, carrying the ball. Once he's made contact, he continues to make metres. He's also very strong in defence. As you can see some of these clips here, he's a bit of a handful to pull down. I don't think Australia's seen the best of him when he's played against the Wallabies. As I said, he's a very strong guy and he uses that very well. He's normally at the centre of the Irish choke tackle that caused the Wallabies so much grief in the 2011 World Cup. It's become a bit of a specialty of his. He's also very good on the ground, and he's a good line-out jumper. That'll give the Lions 5 front-line jumping options, which is going to make it very difficult for the Wallabies. His competition will come from Toby Faletau from Wales, who's a less experienced guy, but still very strong. He plays a slightly wider game in attack. He'd be a good option for the Lions, but I think the fact that he plays tighter and is more physical will get him the nod. There won't be space on the bench for Faletau. Now to the halves, and the starting number 9 will be Mike Phillips from Wales. He's another one of those players with a lot of experience, and he started in all 3 tests on the 2009 tour to South Africa. Of course, Gatland knows him well from his time coaching Wales. Phillips played quite well on the 2009 tour. He's a very physical halfback. At 6'4" and 105 kilos, he's probably the biggest halfback in international rugby. A lot of people criticise him for not being nippy enough around the base of the ruck, but as you can see in these clips, he actually does have a pretty good running game. Again, I don't think the Wallabies have seen the best of him when we've played Wales over the last 18 months. He plays a very physical game, and I think that's perfectly suited to the sort of battle that we're going to get in this series. I think his main competition from within the squad will come from Ben Youngs from England, who's a good player and adds that little bit of flair, but I think he'll be on the bench to come on when players are tiring slightly. I think Gatland will like Phillips' physicality and his experience to get the game started. I think the Wallabies will have an advantage at scrum half whilst ever Will Genny is on the field. There are only 2 fly halves in the Lions squad, and I believe the starter will be Jonny Sexton from Ireland, who's got the experience that Owen Farrell doesn't have. Playing for Ireland, he's a distributor of the ball. He passes the ball early rather than taking on the line too often, and then sweeps around to get in behind for the second phase. It's not too often you see him go into contact. One of the things he is very good at is kicking in general play. and he'll sit back in the pocket, and as soon as there's an opportunity, he's very good at finding space in behind the line. No doubt the Lions will use that to try and play as much territory as they can. And then of course there's the high ball. Again, Sexton is very good at it. And with Owen Farrell coming off the bench, the Wallabies should expect to see plenty of contestable kicks like we see in these clips. Sexton's a good goal kicker, but Owen Farrell's even better, so the Wallabies will have to watch their discipline. Apart from the kicking game, the fly halves don't offer too many threats for the Wallabies. In part 4 of the series, I'm going to look at the Lions centre combination and some of their attacking play from the 2009 tour to South Africa.